We're going to explain how to solve the import error, cannot import name merge from tensorflow.keras.layers error in Python. This error typically pops up when you're working with older TensorFlow and Keras code that used a function called merge, which is no longer directly available in newer versions. The merge function was used to combine the outputs of multiple layers, a common task in neural networks. However, TensorFlow and Keras have since moved to more flexible and explicit ways of doing this. Here's how to fix the problem, depending on what you are trying to do with merge. 1. Identify the outdated merge function. The error message pinpoints the problem. Your code uses tensorflow.keras.layers.merge. Find every instance of this in your code. You'll need to replace this call with a more modern approach. 2. Replace merge with appropriate Keras functions. Instead of merge, Keras now offers more specific functions to combine layers depending on how you want to combine them. The most common scenarios and their replacements are merge with concatenate. If you are using merge with the concatenate mode, which concatenates the tensors along a specific axis, use the Keras layers concatenate function directly. For example, if you had merged eals merge, layer 1, layer 2, mode and concat axis 1. Replace it with merged eals concatenate, layer 1, layer 2, axis 1. Note that the concat axis argument has become axis in the new function. Merge with add or multiply. If you are using merge with add or multiply, replace it with the keras.layers. Add or keras.layers.multiply layer. These are now layers, not functions, so you'll use them by instantiating them and calling them as layers. For example, merged eals merge, layer 1, layer 2, mode add, becomes merged eals add layer 1, layer 2. Merge with other modes. Other merge modes are generally replaced with custom lambda functions or by using more appropriate Keras layers based on the intended operation. For example, if you are averaging outputs, you could use a lambda layer. 3. Check your TensorFlow Keras versions. Ensure you have compatible versions. Very old versions of Keras might be incompatible with newer TensorFlow versions. Using pip show TensorFlow and pip show Keras in your terminal will display the installed versions. Consider upgrading to the latest stable versions of TensorFlow and Keras using pip install, upgrade TensorFlow, and pip install upgrade Keras, or using your preferred package manager such as Conda. Incompatibilities across versions are common sources of errors like this. 4. Import correctly. Double-check your imports at the top of your Python file. You should have from TensorFlow import Keras or import TensorFlow as TF, and then access layers using Keras layers. Avoid importing specific parts unless absolutely necessary. 5. Restart your kernel IDE. After making changes, always restart your Python kernel in Jupyter or similar, or IDE, to ensure that all changes are loaded correctly. By carefully examining the use of merge in your code and replacing it with the appropriate Keras functionalities, and by confirming your TensorFlow Keras versions are up to date, you should be able to resolve this import error and get your code running smoothly. Remember to consult the official Keras documentation for the most up-to-date information on layer combination techniques.